Early this year, following the controversial conclusion of the F1 season, there was no clear indication as to whether Lewis Hamilton would return to the sport, so Mercedes was planning a replacement for him. With Lewis Hamilton's current form, could they be rethinking this option? The conclusion of the contentious Abu Dhabi Grand Prix has many wondering whether Lewis Hamilton will return to the sport. Except for a number of incidents, Hamilton was radio silent since the final race of the 2021 season. Meanwhile, as at then, Mercedes was preparing to replace Hamilton with backup driver Nyck de Vries. De Vries also drives for Mercedes in Formula E, where he won the championship last year. De Vries said, "If I didn't have commitments last season, racing or simulator, in Formula E or in other activities, I mostly worked on the F1 simulator. We all grew up racing. The driving itself is arguably the detail that requires the least customization. The potential of different cars is different, but the basics are always the same. External circumstances make the difference. An athlete who plays football or tennis is in training every day. If I only drive Formula E, I have a 6-month break. I need the ongoing racing to stay in shape," he further added. Following the contentious conclusion to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Hamilton did not even attend the FIA gala dinner. Despite this, Hamilton was seen in Brackley a few days after the last race to wave farewell to his colleague Valtteri Bottas. He was later seen in a Los Angeles store talking to a fan and in a Mercedes video wishing his supporters a happy Chinese New Year. It was eventually revealed, however, that the video was shot in December. Moreover, De Vries said that he still dreams of racing in F1. He said, "Every young driver dreams of this dream. I'd be lying if I said I'm no longer striving for Formula 1 or I'm giving up my dream. Next year is a new season. Let's see what happens." Nyck de Vries was demonstrating to Mercedes that he has the potential to replace 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton if the Englishman decides to retire ahead of the 2021 season. Last season's season finale in Abu Dhabi left Hamilton sad as he narrowly lost out on a record 8th world title after being pipped on the final lap of the season by Max Verstappen. The finale was problematic, though, as Hamilton's once comfortable advantage was wiped away as race director Michael Masi allowed a number of lapped vehicles to contentiously overtake a deployed safety car. This allowed the Dutchman to re-enter the race as the duo were forced to compete in a last-lap shootout to determine the world title, when the Dutchman went on to win. Following the contentious finale, Mercedes team president Toto Wolff stated that his key driver had become disillusioned with the sport. This revelation, combined with Hamilton's radio quiet since the season finale, has many believing that the 7-time world champion is calling it quits on his driving career. If Hamilton had decided to retire, Mercedes would have gone for a new driver in De Vries, who has impressed for the Silver Arrows in Formula E. The 26-year-old is the incumbent Formula E champion, having won the title last season and has begun the current season in a similar manner, winning round 1 in Diriyah. After qualifying on pole, the Dutchman was in terrific shape to make it 2 from 2 in the second round, but with Mercedes slowing down and De Vries making contact, he had to settle for a 10th place finish. "It is tough when you are down on pace," he stated after the race. Furthermore, following contact, I lost 4 or 5 spots, which was unfortunate. But in the end, it was up to us because I feel we just were not fast enough today. It all goes to prove once again that things can still go wrong even if you've had a strong weekend up until that point. The window is very narrow and you can soon lose out as a result. Nyck de Vries has long been touted as the next Mercedes superstar. The Dutchman, on the other hand, says he has no urgent intentions to join the sport. When asked if F1 is still his dream, the young driver replied, De Vries mentioned that he met Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff, but the duo hadn't spoken about F1 in any capacity. He said, "We spoke last week on the occasion of his birthday. We are in regular contact, but Formula 1 was not talked about." Meanwhile, Nyck de Vries will remain in Formula E in 2022 in hopes of defending his world title. Ted Kravitz is spot on when he said that if the Briton returns to the sport, he would face several hurdles in the season. Lewis Hamilton, according to the F1 commentator, would have huge challenges as a result of his bitter loss in Abu Dhabi and the arrival of George Russell. Kravitz stated, "That's the other thing Hamilton has to deal with. He has to get over the pain of Abu Dhabi, and he needs to be reassured by the FIA that everything is going to be fair. And then he needs to deal with a hotshot new teammate and deal with Max Verstappen, who's going to be high on confidence, of course. It's such a big job for Hamilton." According to ex-F1 driver Perry McCarthy before the season started, George Russell will aim to capitalize on Hamilton's lack of momentum moving into the 2022 season. Russell, according to the former driver, will go on the attack, hoping to profit on his fellow Britain's apparent lack of confidence. However, when the new season of the new Formula E season started in Saudi Arabia, it appears that De Vries is entirely focused on defending his title there rather than switching to F1. I don't care about that. We're working on Saudi Arabia, so I don't think there's room for me to think about those sorts of scenarios, he told the Dutch publication Formule 1. He also went on to say that he felt Red Bull driver Max Verstappen deserved the championship based on the course of last season. Max is a fantastic driver who earned that championship 100%. He really is a worthy world champion. I think everyone agrees with that. On that Sunday in Abu Dhabi, Lewis did everything he could to win it, and decisions were made that have never been applied in that way. But that does not alter the fact that Max deserves it and is a great champion, De Vries added. I can also understand that Lewis is very disappointed about that and feels that they have stolen it from him. So, were there other drivers that were considered by Mercedes as Lewis Hamilton's replacement? Valtteri Bottas was Hamilton's Mercedes teammate for 5 seasons, during which time the pair became the sport's most successful driver partnership. After replacing Nico Rosberg for the 2017 season, the Finn scored 10 victories and 20 pole positions with the Brackley-based company, and voluntarily acted as Hamilton's rear gunner to help his teammates' title hopes. Bottas was contracted by Alfa Romeo to replace retiring Kimi Räikkönen in 2022, but he would definitely leap at the chance to return to a winning vehicle for another year if Mercedes deemed a safe set of hands was the best choice. A move for Bottas would put Alfa in a difficult position. If Mercedes had reintroduced Bottas, it will not be a long-term answer. Sebastian Vettel, a 4-time world champion, is another replacement considered by Mercedes for Hamilton at Mercedes. Alpine's Esteban Ocon is also a possible replacement that was considered for Hamilton at Mercedes. Pierre Gasly's performances at sister team AlphaTauri have been nothing short of amazing in the previous 2 seasons, following a difficult 6-month stint at Red Bull with Max Verstappen that saw him dropped halfway through the 2019 season. The 25-year-old has evolved into a clever, quick Grand Prix driver capable of vying for major points and even podiums with drivers in quicker gear. The prospects of his returning to Red Bull are limited, with Sergio Perez holding down his position for at least another year. His qualifying performance is also great, and a Russell x Gasly lineup would be formidable in the Constructors' title race. Gasly would undoubtedly be thrilled to have a crack at the title in a fast vehicle, but his continuous affiliation with Red Bull makes a deal improbable, since the energy drinks behemoth is unlikely to dismiss a credible offer from their biggest competitors. Do you think Mercedes will have to replace Lewis Hamilton going forward due to his form presently? Leave your views, questions, and thoughts in the comment section. Thank you for staying with me till the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when we add new videos in the future.